the Digimon card game was announced, I was excited, but only really because of my attachment to the franchise. However, after playing the game, there were design aspects that jumped out to me that spoke to its quality. The game did involve shuffling mid-match. All of the searchers only looked at the top couple of cards and bottomed them in any order. The game also didn't utilize the traditional resource system, instead functioning solely on the pendulum effect of the memory gauge. And another big thing was how the game lacked both mulligans and side decking. A lack of mulligans made deck building a much more critical aspect of the game. You couldn't be overly greedy when making cuts to your Digimon count. A lack of rookies or starter cards would leave it so you would heavily brick. This also hurt more combo-oriented decks such as Lilithroop, or aggro decks with the tendency to high roll such as Jesmon. The lack of mulligans served as an insurance policy to keep the meta more fair. As for side decks, it made it so players need to actually understand the meta. Not just the meta at large, but their local metas. Because JP, EU, and NA metas would differ, players couldn't just copy what had been shown to work in Japan. And as we mentioned, a deck can't get greedy, so there were only so many slots for silver bullets such as a Delicate Plan or hate cards like Volcanic Dramon. When building, your text couldn't just be scaled to the meta at large, but also to plug weaknesses to your individual strategy. In a recent official announcement, the next major tournament, the DigiFest, will have both side decking and mulligans. For mulligans, they will be conducted after security has already been laid. A player will take their whole hand to the bottom and then draw a fresh group of 5. After this, no mulligans are permitted. For side decking, players will have an extra set of 10 cards and functions the same as side decking in other major card games. I believe both of these decisions to be a mistake for a few reasons. To begin with, Digimon was designed without these concepts in mind. The power of cards that counter strategies such as Emergency Program Shutdown were elevated with the caveat that you didn't know if you would face the strategies that they counter. To include sets released in Japan, this leaves 9 sets and 2 expansions designed with hate and counter cards built for a game with no mulligan system. Another issue lies in how Digimon lacks instant speed responses like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic. In those games, where the level of hate cards is through the roof, they are kept in check by the generic ability to interact with or stop them with ease. However, aside from the security, players cannot interact with their opponent on the opposing player's turn. Without this critical stopgap, it can cause rounds 2 and 3 to be utter steamrolls. Imagine a situation where you're playing a deck like Agumon. You do well your first round, shuffle up, maybe making a few small removal changes, and then your opponent proceeds to drop multiple Mechanori and Craniumon from their sideboard. Now you've effectively lost the 2 following rounds with no chance to win, aside from siding yourself into something like a Wyvern's Breath package. Digimon did not need this back and forth system. Call and response side decking does not reward good deck building, it only makes it so players have to put less consideration into the meta at large. As for mulligans, I believe this is the much worse of the 2 changes. My example will be Jesmon for why this is a mistake. Jesmon is an inherently greedy deck, cutting thin on levels 5, 4, and 3 in order to fit in powerful options like Judgment of the Blades or white cards like Sisters and Omnimon. A proper Jesmon stack and raising given a delicate plan can simply win the game with no actual interaction or counterplay. The saving grace which stopped Jesmon from rolling to BD6 meta was because of how much it bricked. It is a greedy deck which ignores fundamental deck building strategy. As such, the deck was punished by having a chance to fail due to bricking. Or if it just didn't see Savior Huckmon, a level 5 which was critical for his OTK. By adding in mulligans, it only increases the ability of a deck like Jesmon to see those pieces. It rewards bad deck building, it only pushes high roll decks up a notch. I love the Digimon card game. I love card games in general, and I truly believe these 2 decisions will only hurt Digimon in the long run. But what's your opinion? Are you looking forward to mulligans? Are you looking forward to side decking? Let me know below in the comments. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.